making of cinema. And when I joined Screen as an editor, he said, अब स्टार्स के बारे में बहुत लिख लिया, अब हमारे फील्ड में आ जाओ और हमारे बारे में जानो. धूम, as far as my knowledge goes, collected under 100 crores. Dhoom 2 and Dhoom 2 according to me is 150 and Dhoom 3 is 530. You two have been involved with the franchise and that's why you share the platform with me today. Vijay, I would start with you. You wrote the story of Dhoom, screenplay of Dhoom 2 and you directed Dhoom 3. What comes first or what came first? The idea, the thought of a film or the idea of a franchise? When you and Aditya Chopra met, was it clear from the very beginning that this is going to be a franchise?
I must confess, when I was invited for this and I read the making of a successful franchise, I thought I'd be damned if I know, because I think when you write something or when you make a film, there's always the idea and the desire to make a film. The fact that it becomes a franchise is something which is a quality that the film has. And the film inevitably is bigger than all that. So it's some connection between the audience and the film that happens, which makes us feel that they might be willing to see something which comes after this as well. And that is why a sequel is made. A lot of times it's made only for a commercial interest, but I think we've managed to...
What you're trying to say is that you just made Dhoom and then you saw the reactions and after that you said, let's make Dhoom 2. And then you all waited for a few years and then you said, let's make Dhoom 3.
In a very cut and dried fashion, yes. When we first met, we wanted to make a film. We wanted to make a film with bikes and action. The success of Dhoom paved the way for the sequel, which was Dhoom 2. The success of Dhoom 2 made us aware that we must have a Dhoom 3. But we could not have a Dhoom 3 unless we kind of broke the mold that we ourselves had set up. So in that sense, the idea will always be first, the script should always be first. I don't think you can make a film without it, and certainly not a franchise.
You know, Abhishek, committing to one film is bad enough because you have to prepare yourself and say that, okay, I'm giving my dates, my time, my passion to one film. And then you reserve those dates. Now, when you look back, had you thought at that time that you're going to give 10 years of your life to this one franchise? Because you committed to Dhoom, then it went on to Dhoom 2. How does an actor do it? How does he block his dates? How does he give his time? How does he reserve this kind of space in case the filmmaker wants to make the film?
Firstly, good morning, everyone. And just to start with, thank you for the introduction. Although when she said she's seen me grow, that's a bit incorrect because I was born bigger than her. As you can see, she's rather power-packed and petite. But to answer your question, although when they first conceptualized Dhoom, there was never any thought that it might become a franchise. But when the actors were cast, and I remember somewhere at the back of his mind an idea that this could grow into a franchise. Because he had mentioned that at that point of time, if the film does achieve the goals we had set for it, then there was a possibility that we could make a sequel of the basic story plot of Dhoom lent itself to a franchise film. So he was very clear that we're experimenting with something. If it works, then we can make it into a franchise. Having said that, when you first sign up for the first film, there was never any definite guarantee that this is going to be a franchise. So the actors that associated initially, we never had the thought process that there's going to be a Dhoom 2 and then there's going to be a Dhoom 3. Yes, whilst making Dhoom 2, you wanted there to be a sequel. When you're making Dhoom. And so I think these are things that grow more organically. You don't really plan for it from a creative point of view, from an actor's point of view. I'm sure because Victor has written all the Dhooms, that's something that could have played on his mind. Also, if you see Dhoom as a film, I don't know if all of you all have seen it, but it's not it's not really a character-based franchise. Although the common thread between all the three parts are, Inspector Jay Dikshit, ACP Jay Dikshit, and Ali, his friend. But it's not a character-heavy franchise. For example, say like a Batman is. A Batman is about Batman and his adventures. Although Dhoom is Jay and Ali's adventures, but you can pick them up and place them in any situation. That also makes it easier for it to become a franchise because you can pick and choose your situations as you wish. So as an actor, you don't really sign on to it. When our contracts were drawn, we never said, okay, this is going to be a franchise, so this is where we see it coming. Maybe if there is a Dhoom 4 made, maybe the actors would then think about it and say, okay, here's a successful franchise. Now we know that this is something that is going to carry on, so maybe we can incorporate that from a creative perspective. But as actors, you never really sign up saying, this is going to go into a huge franchise, so let me block 10 years of mine. When we were making Dhoom, we never dreamt that there'd be a Dhoom 2, let alone a Dhoom 3, and let alone that, 3 months after Dhoom 3, we'd be sitting at Vicky Frames discussing that, what goes into making a successful franchise.
This is interesting because both of them say that they don't know that it's going to be Dhoom 2 and Dhoom 3. But obviously, Yash Raj Films and Aditya Chopra somewhere have it in mind, and that's how they plan it. So what is very important in a film like this is you really need a very solid banner so that if it works, they are able to put more money and go ahead on it. But my question is for you, because the first two are directed by another director, Sanjay Gadvi, and you are writing it. Now, when he's making the film and it's your thought which is being portrayed, are you simultaneously making another film in your head or thinking that maybe I would have done it this way and he's doing it this way, or I wanted to emphasize this but he has projected that?
I think as a writer, your job is to try and get something on paper which is true to my imagination. But as the script is done, then that technically finishes my job. So after that, it is the director's baby because he's the one who will author the film. And I don't think any two people can be very similar. So in that sense, I think whatever Sanjay did was credit to him, and it was a successful film. When I was going to direct it, therefore I thought and I chose a slightly different route altogether, which is something which is personal to me, and there is no conflict in that. But as a writer, there's a film in your head, and then somebody else goes and shoots it, and that's the film that was there in his head. And it's all
And
par.
how was it different when you were shooting it?
Sorry?
When you finally did the 3-1, how different was it for you? Were you expecting the producer to give you the break as a director? Did you ask for it?
No,
Were you nervous, anxious, excited?
Well, you're all of it. You're nervous. I'm nervous, anxious, and excited on a Sunday. So I think when I'm at work, I think that's when I'm kind of most relaxed. But that's no. I've already done a film with Yash Raj called Tashan. So that was my break as a director. And while, funnily enough, while I was shooting Tashan, Adi and Abhishek had met for something, and Adi told Abhishek that if there is a Dhoom 3, I think Victor should direct it. So they were discussing that unknown to me. And I was also quite clear that whatever I write is what I would like to direct. So once we knew that we were doing Dhoom 3, it was fairly evident that I would direct it. And I just hope that I would be up for the job.
You know, Abhishek, you said that when you signed Dhoom, you didn't know you were going to do Dhoom 2, or later on there was going to be a Dhoom 3. So when you make a contract with the banner, it is just for one film, and then you make a contract for a second film, and then you make a contract for a third film. Now, as a professional, I feel when the banner or the producer is not opened his cards right from the beginning that he's going to make 3 films, then the actor is in a way going in a loss, because if I know for sure that I'm going to do 3 films with him, I would make my contract in a different way. Am I saying the right thing, or is it a plus that you can negotiate each time differently?
We have to set a standard for this discussion, which is you're discussing a creative field. So there are a lot of variables that come into a creative field. As much as we'd like it to be a business, and as hard as we try to keep it as professional as possible, there has to be a lot of elbow room for creativity. There are many such deals struck today in the corporatized film industry, where actors sign on to multiple films. You do multiple picture deals with your producers, not necessarily just for one franchise, but for different films possibly. That is coming in, but at the end of the day, all of this is ruled and dictated by creativity. Dhoom, thankfully, has grown into a giant of a franchise, and with all respect and credit to everybody associated with it, including the producers, tomorrow, if there was a Dhoom 4 made by a completely new team, it would still garner a lot of attention because the name and the brand of Dhoom has grown such. So, is it a plus or a minus? It is. Tomorrow, Aditya Chopra and Victor might decide that I think we've milked this franchise the maximum that we could. Let's not make any more. That's a creative decision. That's not necessarily a business decision, because after seeing the kind of business Dhoom 3 has done, and seeing the trend of the last 3 films, it just goes to show that the business has, I think, doubled each time. So business sense says, yeah, go ahead, make Dhoom 4. But tomorrow, as creative people, they might say that there's not much more we can do with this, so let's end it here. So although there's a lot of, this is a problem you're always going to have in the film industry. The biggest problem I think that you're always going to face is it is a commercial art. And that's something which is going to be a problem for it all the time. Yes, we'd like artistic freedom, we'd like the opportunity to express our creativity, but you're also going to have to cater to a demand of commerce, which is you're expecting an audience to go in there and purchase a ticket. So on some level, when I believe that when I expect anybody in this audience to go out there and buy a ticket of my film, it's kind of like a promissory note. I'm kind of promising that I will give you your money's worth in entertainment. So it becomes my duty to try and fulfill that. So you're always going to have to play this balancing game. So is it going to hamper or hurt an actor if they don't sign on to a multiple film deal, or the actor keeps their cards close to the chest? Yes and no. Yes, because maybe you're robbing them an opportunity of negotiating a better deal. But like you said, if you don't, and suddenly what happens if tomorrow the franchise doesn't do well? Exactly. So, like I said, it becomes very ambiguous in a creative field because everything is dictated ultimately, not just by commerce, but equally, and sometimes more so through the creative reasoning of the project.
Very well explained, and I have to say a little story. Because today films are so much better planned on paper, on the sets, and they more or less, no matter how big the budget or the canvas, get over before a year. I remember when Boni Kapoor was making Roop Ki Rani Choro Ka Raja, the film went on for 5 years, for whatever reasons. And finally, when the film was released in the theatre, he said, I'm so fortunate that nothing untoward happened over the years. All my actors were in place. My cameramen and the technicians were all there. They were all looking almost the same. Nobody had put on a lot of weight or were down with some kind of illness. So there are so many factors. Vijay, when you are writing the film thrice with different situations, circumstances, a lot of things can happen. As it is, writing is a very isolating experience. And it is more difficult to write a commercial film than to write an offbeat film because you have to look at the nooks and corners to make it interesting. Did you feel bored at some point? Did you feel that you had to do something different to excite yourself or your characters because you had to have the same characters and yet make them different?
See, I think the truth is that whatever you do, whether it's a franchise or not, just to put it in perspective, I think Adi and I, when before Dhoom 2 began, he said one thing which I thought was fairly astute, and he said if it is a film that we would have made in any case, then we should make the story as Dhoom 2. We should not make a Dhoom only because we should not be fulfilling just a franchise. And that, I think, that by itself makes sure that it's not ever going to be only a commercial decision. The commerce has to be driven by the creative. And if we manage to do that, then you're on a good turf. However, writing is lonely, it's dark, it's soul crushing, it's fantastic, and like somebody said, that's on a good day. So I think you're always trying to excite yourself to write, and you don't want to do what you've already done in the past. The fact that Jay Dikshit and Ali, they're like my friends. So in a lot of ways they will, and I don't mean the actors. I think the characters themselves, they sit in a corner somewhere and they say, "So what are you going to do with us?" And there is a certain dignity that we need to offer the characters that we write. However, because I can speak more personally about Dhoom 3 because Dhoom 1 and Dhoom 2, I was having a lot of fun doing as well. But with that fun came this responsibility, and I felt I couldn't do exactly what we'd done in the past. It couldn't be just a fun film. It must have fun, but it must have some gravity, and that is where I think there is a shift in the franchise. There's a shift in the creative of the franchise, which was exciting, but it was also very risky. So I'm glad it paid off.
You very rightly said it because unfortunately, Abhishek, we have a very star-obsessed media. For me, Dhoom franchise belongs to the producer, to the screenplay writer because he's common in all three, and to Jay Dikshit and to Ali because they are the four people who are driving this carriage and they are making
help the film industry. और आज जो हमारा सेशन था विजय कृष्ण आचार्य और मेरा was on how to make a successful franchise, and they very sweetly invited Victor and me here to speak about Dhoom. And I think Ficky's doing a great job to bring more attention to the business side of films. And let's hope that we can come out with some great resolutions and great answers. Speaking at the India Forum at LSE, which is the London School of Economics, tomorrow. मेरा क्या feeling है is not important. Audience क्या feel करेगी, that is important. And I hope they enjoy the film. It's releasing in Diwali, and they should expect a lot of entertainment.